can see, to construct a passable melodic phrase, one must first understand the socio-political climate of 18th century Vienna and its influence on the subdominant chord's relationship to the all you have to do is pitch in 5 semitones, bro. Let's skip the semester-long class and get to the good stuff. Today, I'm sharing 5 melody cheat codes that work every single time. Also, I don't have a clever segue into telling you to get my free 7-kit bundle today, so I'll just candidly suggest that you get it. It's really good and you 100% will not regret how much better it makes your beats. Anyways, this first trick is pure sauce for making a fire melody every time. It's called the circle of fifths, and it's a music theory concept that organizes the keys into a sequence of perfect fifths. But all you really need to know is that a key will almost always sound good with its perfect fifth. And you don't need to memorize the circle either. Here, let me explain. So basically, we could make a really interesting dark melody in the key of C minor, right? So that's hard, and we'll duplicate that over one more time and maybe like do a little bit of variation on this one. All right, let me change the sound real quick. That's hard. And so what you do to take advantage of that perfect fifth in this situation is you would literally just duplicate it over. And since I know the circle of fifths, I know that the perfect fifth of C is going to be F. But like I was saying, you don't even have to memorize that, right? Because when you take this duplicated over pattern and move it up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 semitones, look at that. Now its root is an F, and check this out. That's so hard. So now I'm just gonna tweak this a little bit more so it all fits together. Hard. Now, this next trick is the perfect cheat code for making a fire counter melody or top line every time, because all you need to do is use the right notes from your scale. So just use the root, the 5, and the 6 to make a dope top line melody, and then you can spice it up with the 2 and 3 here and there for harmonic tension or dissonance. So I pitched all the melodies down 4 semitones, so let's just move this MIDI down 4 semitones so that we can build off of this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're in the key of A flat. So all the notes in our scale go as followed: G sharp or A flat, which is the root, the 2 is A sharp, the 3 is B, the 4 is C sharp, the 5 is D sharp, the 6 is E, and the 7 is F sharp or G flat. And so let's change colors so that we can mark the notes that we want to use to make this counter melody or top line. Mainly we want to be focused on 5, D sharp, the 6, E. The root is also very helpful, and then these 2 tension notes right here, B flat and B, will be very helpful as well. And this will work no matter what key you're in. So now that we've got all that marked out, let's come to BBC Symphony Orchestra, set up some spiccato strings, and lay out a really dope melody. Super hard. Now this shit is really starting to sound symphonic, but I want to keep building the melody. And I love this next trick for that because it lets you do that without overthinking. Just use your existing melody to make more melodies. And honestly, I could make an entire video on this topic alone, so let me know if you guys want to see that. And the way we can do this is pretty easy. So we can create a new sampler, cut that melody that we made, the chord progression motif, from repro, paste it into the sampler, move it down 5 semitones, because that's what we pitched the melody to at this point, and then we can move that up an octave. Come back into repro, turn it on, then grab, say, this section of the motif, copy it, paste it into the MIDI of repro, then just change sounds until we find something we like. I like that a lot. So let's export that. And then let's just put like a bunch of really cool effects on it. So I'm actually gonna go to my band for band preset pack and see if I have anything that'll make this sound really dope. That's kind of hard, bro. Let's do outer space. And that's just so hard because it really lets you make infinite melodies basically without doing anything new. All you have to do is take a part of that MIDI that you already made, put it on a new sound, add some effects, and you're good to go. This next trick is super simple but makes melodies sound so much more fire. And I want to mention it because it's one of the effects that I never hear people talk about. Try using flanging on your melodies to make them sound more interesting. We'll solo this bell melody so we can add some flanging to it. And it's already sounding super dope, especially with those effects we added earlier from the band for band mixer preset kit. But now let's come into fruity flanges, which is honestly my favorite flanger, and it's already sounding super dope. And all the presets are usually what I mess with. Like, I don't know what's going on here, I just know what makes it sound really cool. It just sounds so clean, bro. And then layer it with the pad. That's so fire, bro. All right, now I want to add some more sounds to the melody. Add a new instance of symphony orchestra, just some pedal tones, literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then change that to staccato. Better. So for this next part, we need to program some drums first. So you already know, first thing we gotta do is head to that band for band, grab that clipper preset, and let's push like 3 dB of gain. Then you already know, centerfold drum kit. Okay, the super hard drums from Centerfold will make this next part really easy, because mixing is almost always half done when you use good sounds, so make sure you grab the Centerfold drum kit if you want the best trap sounds in the world. Anyways, this last tip is to make sure people actually hear your melody by leveling it correctly. Let me show you what I mean. So the key with this is the big 3 concept, and that comprises of your low end, kick, 808, bass, things of that nature. That's gonna be the loudest thing in your mix. Second loudest thing is gonna be the clap. That's the second element of the big 3. And then third element is the melody. It could be composite or it could just be one lead element, and then everything else gets leveled in, while keeping in mind that those big 3 elements need to be the loudest and most present in that order. So for this, I'm gonna just treat all the melodies as like a composite, and I'm gonna level that as the third loudest thing. But if you just wanted to use one specific lead line, then you would level that in as the third element of your big 3, and then you would level in the rest of the melodies as you're leveling in the rest of the perks, keeping in mind that you want that lead line to be the third most present thing in the mix after your low end and after your main clap. So let's get into it. Like that, super quick stuff, bro. That's way too loud. I want it loud, but not that loud. There we go. Now we just level in that melody. We got that first element of the big 3 leveled. We got that second element leveled. Everything's loud and present. Now let's bring in that melody. You want it to be present, you gotta make sure your melody is actually heard, bro. But you don't want it drowning out those two other elements of the big three. Hard, bro. So now let's just level in these other two perks real quick. And you know what? We did talk about that one tip in yesterday's video to layer your hats with an open hat. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. All right, so I'm gonna arrange this and then we can listen to the full beat. All right, final beat now. The mixing is really what brings it together, if you ask me. And I know we've covered different topics about mixing in a bunch of different videos lately, but if you want to see how it all comes together in one seamless process, check out this video here.